Welcome to this Planet Zoo tutorial. We'll dive into walkthrough exhibits and how they work in Planet Zoo, so let's dive in. To get a walkthrough exhibit, you go to Facilities, and from there you can filter by Exhibit. You will see this at the very bottom, the walkthrough exhibit. This is the raw version of the walkthrough exhibit. You also have some blueprints. You can place the walkthrough exhibit by clicking wherever you want to place it, and you can also rotate it. Let me show you how you can rotate it with the C key. The C key will rotate it by 90 degrees. Since this is a grid piece, you can raise it with the Shift key, so you can create elevated walkthrough exhibits if you want to. You can get as creative as you want in Planet Zoo. Right now you can see that this is empty and it has no power. To see if the walkthrough exhibit has power, which is something super important, you will need the heat maps. In the heat maps you can go here to power and see if the facility is covered by a power station. Right now it's not. You can see that only these are covered by the power station. So I'm going to go here to Facilities, to Utilities, and I'm going to remove the filter and maybe a solar panel. We want to be as green as possible. So I'm going to add this to power the facility. Okay, so I'm going to close the heat map now. I can see that it has power. Now it says that it's empty. It doesn't say that it doesn't have power anymore. Now, how can you customize this facility? You can customize the different walls. By default, they will all be solid, but you can choose to have, this is an example for wall 1, which is like in this case on the left. You can have glass, you can have netting, or you can have none and just create your own or not if you want to make a walkthrough exhibit on the outside, like on outdoors. So let's say that I want to keep the glass one. You can also choose wire mesh as well. Wire mesh, solid, glass, netting, or none. I want to keep glass this time. Now, if I go here to wall 2, I can do that as well. Then glass as well here on the back, or maybe we have some wire mesh. You can combine all of this. Now, I think I'm going to keep it all with glass. And this one needs glass as well. Okay, so now we have the walkthrough exhibit. If you want to sync the wall and ceiling material for all walls and ceiling, you can enable this. So this will synchronize. If you choose one of them, all of them will have the same material, and that will save you time because you don't have to select 4 or 5 of them repeatedly. Just click once and you get all of them. Now for the floor, you can choose either solid or none. This is helpful if you want to make them look more natural. In this case, I'm going to choose none. Now for the door, you have 2 doors, door 1 and door 2. You can either choose a PVC strip curtain or none, and you can create your own. For now, I'm going to create the PVC strip curtain, like this. Like this. And you can also customize the colors. For example, let's say this one. This is the wall color. This is visible if you have solid selected. Wall color. The first one changes the wall color, the second one changes the plastic color, and the third one changes the pattern color. So the plastic color is, as you can see over here, I'm going to change it. It changes the plastic over here on the PVC doors. Now for the wall color, you can change it as well. But this is like more obvious if you're in solid, because you can see that the walls inside the walkthrough exhibit change color. Like you can see the plastic over here changes the door over here. And you can see the wall color changing on the inside. And here you can see the pattern color. The pattern is on the door over here. You can customize all of this. Now, what if you want to reset any of these colors? You click on them and you click on reset, and they will go back to their default. Like this. Like this. When you click out of the exhibit and you click back in, you will see the default colors again. Awesome. Now, on the Overview tab, you can see View Animal Market. You can also request an exhibit animal. This will open the animal market for the exhibit trading. Animals that can be placed in walkthrough exhibits are found in the Exhibit Trading tab. You go here and then you go to find a walkthrough exhibit animal. Let's say the sloth. I'm going to get a sloth with my conservation credits. I'm going to get 2 sloths, and then I'm going to click on them here in my storage, in my animal storage, and I'm going to send them to my zoo. Once they're in, you can also, of course, place them in the quarantine first, but since this is a tutorial, I'm just going to send them directly to the exhibit. I click on this, and then you see the overall layout has been placed for the sloth. You can see, however, that their welfare, oh little baby, look at her face. You can see that her welfare is not great because the exhibit has severe welfare issues. So we can fix that. First of all, you need to check the animal needs. For example, the climate. The temperature is currently too high. You can reduce the temperature of the exhibit like this. It needs a range between 21 and 32. So now I'm placing it at 30, let's say 30, yeah, or 29, 28, a little bit cooler. It's decreasing, so that will improve the overall state of the animal. You can also add some new, right now I'm clicking on the walkthrough exhibit, okay? So this panel is updated when you add the animal, and you can customize the walkthrough exhibit to meet the animal's needs. For example, here on this tab, layout, you can add some enrichment items. Enrichment level 1, level 2, level 3. Since I'm currently in sandbox, we have all of these enabled, and I will add all of these to the little guys. Climbing pose. We have 3 climbing posts. Hanging chair, I love the hanging chair, and the sloth nest as well. So I have all the enrichment items. Now, here in this panel, I can see all the animals that are currently in the walkthrough exhibit. I see Alanza and I see Pedro. If I click on one of them, I go to the information panel for that animal. So it's really easy to manage the animals by just clicking on the walkthrough exhibit and then going here to the animal summary. If I have multiple species in the exhibit, I can go here and I will see all the species that are currently cohabitating. And I can change and I will see this panel, but for each one of the species. This overview panel will also give you information on the overall welfare of the animals in the exhibit. You can see their nutrition, social health, and exhibit. And if you need more details, you can also expand this to food, water, social group, layout, cleanliness, and temperature. Right now, they're all great. You can also call the keeper. Right now, I'm calling the keeper. You also have the scenery rating depending on how you've decorated the exhibit, and you can see guest thoughts of guests that have walked through this exhibit. We talked about this one, the animals, the layout, the climate, and customize, which is where we change the walls. You can also change the walls after the animal is placed on the exhibit. You also have a log of the finances, the power cost, and how much the exhibit overall is costing you. The maintenance as well, time since the last visit from the keeper. And you can also change the time between the visits, every month, every 3 months, every 6 months, 9 months, or every year or 2 years. Remember that in Planet Zoo, time is not like so realistic. It goes by like in months. So that's something to keep in mind for the management. And this one is probably one of the most important tabs for the walkthrough exhibits, which is the management tab. The management tab, while I'm explaining this to you, let's keep the beautiful sloth over here. The management tab shows you the exhibits, the species in the exhibit, right? But this is allowing you to manage the population in the exhibit. If you enable this, manage population, animals exceeding the specified population limits are automatically removed. Animals can be exempted from processing and are sorted by their processing priority. So, what happens here? We can limit the number of males and the number of females in the exhibit. We can set a population limit, like this, maximum males, how we want them to process if there is an overpopulation. We store them in the trade center, we sell them for cash, or we release them to the wild. I personally prefer releasing them to the wild, please, thank you. But if you are planning to move them to another exhibit, storing them in the trade center can also be helpful. Now, how are we going to set that priority? Well, we're going to prioritize, let's say, by age, by appeal, the cash, or by conservation credits. We can choose if we want to have the animal with the highest level of that indicator first or with the lowest one. So for example, let's say that I want to choose age here. If I choose highest first, the oldest animals will be prioritized to be removed from the exhibit. But if I choose lowest, the youngest animals will be removed. So it's giving you all the options you need to customize the management process. We can choose some exemptions here as well. If we want to exempt Pedro, for example, we don't want him to be removed, even if he is the oldest animal, even if he is like meeting all the criteria. We love Pedro, so we just exempt him from being removed from the exhibit by checking this check mark over here. Same thing with the females. We have the same panel, it's just females, and we can choose which ones to exempt if we don't want that to apply to them. So now that we've covered all the tabs over here, you can also see that we can rename the walkthrough exhibits. This is a small detail that is very important if we want to, for example, let's say sloths. And here we have more options as well. We have the exhibit camera, which is an option that I absolutely love. If I click on this, we can go to the exhibit camera and we can see our little babies. Look at her face. We can go to the next animal by choosing a number here, by like clicking on these arrows. Animal 1, animal 2, here we have our little baby. And we can go through them in the exhibit and see where they are and what they are doing. We can choose to have the camera in orbit, so we can move it around in 360 degrees. You can see that we are very free to move the camera here. Or we can choose the interior, which is like looking from a set camera in the exhibit. We can change that to the different cameras that are predetermined in the exhibit. This is helpful if you want to get some static shots of your animals like from above. Really nice to create some content or to showcase your creations. From here, we can also go to the Zoopedia if we need to have more information about our animals, because walkthrough exhibit animals also have specific needs and population needs. For example, for the sloth, we can see their temperature requirements. We can also see their group size, because if we have more animals than their preferred group size, then we will start having some welfare issues. We can see that they can have up to 6 individuals in the group. And you also need to keep in mind how many males can be in the group, and if they are polygynous, if you're planning to breed the animals to release the babies to the wild at some point. So this is very helpful to have all the information on the logistics of how you're going to handle and manage your animals. You can also see some fun facts about them, which I absolutely love, what enrichment items they can use, and if they have interspecies enrichment, because you can have multiple species on the same walkthrough exhibit if they have interspecies enrichment. Awesome, now let's click on the walkthrough exhibit again, and we go to the options as well. Building, you can change this to building on the exhibit, and this way you can edit the actual facilities. You can move the walkthrough exhibit like this, you can move it once you have the animal placed as well. You can also duplicate the exhibit like this, but it won't have the custom settings. It will be like a default walkthrough exhibit. And you can demolish this walkthrough exhibit, and if you demolish it, well, your little babies will go to the trade center. Here we have some examples with the blueprints that we have in Planet Zoo of the walkthrough exhibits for different themes, and let me tell you that they look absolutely amazing. This is like a way to show you the potential of these exhibits and how they can look in your zoos if you want to decorate them. Let's go to explore mode here. Take a look at this. This is the Oceania walkthrough exhibit. You can really make anything of these walkthrough exhibits, and it's really nice because people sometimes interact with these animals, like with the butterflies, and they look absolutely amazing. I think this really shows the potential of this type of exhibit. Let's go to the Indonesian exhibit, like this over here. Oh my gosh, this is so beautiful. The quality of the pieces and the themes in Planet Zoo is just brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Really, I think Planet Zoo is the perfect game that we zoo lovers and animal lovers have envisioned since Zoo Tycoon 2. Here we also have the walkthrough exhibit for the Twilight theme, which is a little bit more spooky because it is supposed to be a cave for the bats, but it still looks really nice and it can be decorated further. And this one over here, you can see this. This is beautiful, really beautiful. I think this shows the potential of what you can build with the walkthrough exhibits. And with this beautiful view, we end this walkthrough exhibit tutorial. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. If you like this tutorial, please like and subscribe. I really, really appreciate it. It means the world to me. And I'll see you in the next video.